have open audio right now, then. Come check this out.
check. 1, 2. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's Phil.
Yeah, yeah. Really nice. Yeah. We're still just doing other stuff. Sounds another collab station. What station? Another one collab. Right. No. Oh yeah, yeah. Put another one here. I think so. Well, yeah, there's four. There's four on the second floor, and then there's gonna be one right here. Yeah, that's the volume control for the sound system. I turned it down.
It opened up so much space.
Difference, huh?
This is not how we used to edit it, but like,
I don't think much changed up here. I mean, they
No,
filled
I
it
mean
in and
downstairs.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the first floor is definitely like a breathtaking kind of thing.
I like modern two-seated cars. I'm surprised they have. I was telling Roger those small screens in that open space over there.
Yeah, they kind of, we love looking at those.
We don't know why that
Because we
happened.
spec the screen, but then the boxes are
Yeah.
huge.
Well,
Unless they want bigger ones.
yeah, that's what I told him.
What we
Get
might
bigger
do
ones and
is,
pick those up.
all I was thinking was in the vestibule is the ends. They're 50 bucks, but on inside and in the corners. That's why they're so small. So they made the whole one size all the way down to support the 55s. And I was like, I'm sick of change. Just like take those Samsungs off, buy the 55s, put those Samsungs on carts or something.
Yeah, just got that email from Gov Connection. They're ready to go. They're shipping now.
Do what?
90-inch
Oh, 90 inch.
commercial LED.
Oh my
This is a good change.
You know what is it?
But it's
I don't know. I don't remember who. No, it's like
what
Chris
size
here
is
for
the
more
screen
detail.
upstairs?
We're storing more.
70,
Actually,
75?
I
Okay.
heard. I was reading an
And
article.
it's a consumer
It said
because the 75
Sharp is in serious financial trouble. Yeah, I guess they're thinking they may have a serious problem by year's end if they don't come up with something. Because the article was talking about how they're using technology to try to grow strawberries in Saudi Arabia or something. I don't know. It was a weird article, but it said they
talk to some of you, that would be good.
Whatever you say.
All right. Okay. Everybody who'd like to come down here is here, I guess. Well, this is an exciting day for the opening of this Fisher Student Center, and now for the dedication of the Tom and Marge Aiken Student Leadership Suite. What a great facility the whole building is, but what a remarkable change that this makes for the third floor. For those of you who have never been here before, you don't know the extent of what has been done up here. And Tom, as he indicated in his remarks, was really a strong advocate for making sure that this space was going to accommodate all the needs of the students. Tom and Marge, as many of you know, actually came here 15 years ago. Tom came in February of 1998, and he was a bachelor like John for a while. I don't think he ever actually lived in the dorm, the residence hall. But then Marge and Monica came, and they've been with us ever since. Before he came here, as also many of you know, he had a very distinguished career at Penn State, where they both were active. They spent 30 years there. Now, it's been said that in student affairs, like dog years, Tupper, that every 1 year is the equivalent of 7 years of employment someplace else. When you have to deal with late night calls and unhappy parents and sometimes even disciplinary matters, it can be very trying. But if you think about that, there are 30 years at Penn State, 15 years here. That's 315 years that they have worked in student affairs. And if there's anyone who deserves a retirement, it's Tom and Marge. And we are so happy that they will return to Happy Valley and to their grandchildren and Monica and to a life of enjoying their retirement years. It's really a tribute to them that Bryant is where we are today. For Katie and I, this is more than just saying farewell to a colleague, because for the past 15 years, we've been neighbors and friends, living on what everyone refers to as Bryant University campus. But it's almost like it's a young person's campus on the weekends, and we're the only two adults here. And as I have always fondly said, Tom and Marge are on one side, and we're on the other side. Now Jose and Don have joined us, and we hope John will join us. We often have the students surrounded. But what a transformational change Tom and Marge have made here. If you think about it, during their tenure here, over 12,000 students have passed through our archways, and they have made sure that each one of those felt their presence, their love, their caring, their dedication, and as I said once before, even sometimes their discipline. But Tom was not a strict Martinet Daddy Warbucks disciplinarian. Tom was always trying to figure out, how can this be a learning experience for the students? He always wanted to make sure that they knew the difference between just learning and seeking retribution for mistakes, this being an institution of higher education. Tom, you and Marge have been educators in the finest sense. They really wanted to coordinate, making sure that co-curricular activities were interconnected with academic activities, and so that they were really educators all the time, 24/7. And they, as I indicated, have really touched the lives of so many students, faculty, and staff, and Katie and I certainly included. Their personal care, interaction has been a hallmark of their tenure here at Bryant. They've created a family environment among student affairs, and we talk about that as a trademark, branding. And they've expanded the world for so many of our students. When Tom first came here, we had very few international students. We had very little diversity on campus. We did have 5 empty dorms. And as a result of their care and concern, and over the years, they made sure that we were becoming a much more diverse campus. Tom and Marge went on one of the first SIEs because Tom wanted to know, what's it like? What are the issues? How is it to be on the ground with 35 students, many of them who had never been outside the country or even on an airplane? So they really lived the life of expanding the world for our students. And as we say, it's create, it's achieve, success ultimately is our goal. And what success they have achieved. A little bit later, after we finish here, Tom, and go downstairs, some of your staff will talk about some of the specific things that you have achieved during your tenure here. But it really is remarkable. And as we leave this dedication ceremony and go downstairs and have a reception, we really need to reflect on the fact that your legacy doesn't leave this building or this campus. It stays here and becomes part of our institutional culture, and that's a remarkable tribute to both you and Marge. Many of our students have watched Tom, and I'm looking for Rich Hurley. Where's Rich? There's Rich. I think he's actually trying to look like Tom. From his early days as a student, Tom really inspired so many students to go into student life. Rich is just but one example of people who saw a role model and said, I want to be like Tom. I want to be like Marge. When they came, we had very little student life activities here. Unfortunately, a lot of it just revolved around alcohol, and it wasn't constructive. And it took a lot of years and a lot of patience. Today we have a diverse campus that has lots of late night programs, an intercultural center, a multicultural center, a women's center, a pride center, so many things that 15 years ago people never dreamed of because Tom was thinking about these are as important for student affairs. Tom is a professional. We went from roughly 50 student activity organizations to now over 100. I mean, that's a remarkable achievement in his tenure. And he even was able to institute a student affairs activities fee so that they could raise money and have special speakers and special programs that the students would pick and run, which is terrific because that's what Tom believed in, giving the students a voice, making sure they're part of this. From 2,000 students today, we have almost 3,300. Tom has grown a staff of professionals in a way which is just remarkable. People who now are going to continue the legacy. And I know that John is excited to follow up, Tom, Marge, on the things that you've put in place. The population, the students have changed, many of the staff have changed. But Tom, you've been a steady hand on the helm. You and Marge have really kept this ship going in a straight direction for your entire 15 years. You've done things and instituted programs that, frankly, very few people could have done. You've raised personal behavior standards, you've encouraged, you've cajoled, you've hugged, you've loved, and you've been a role model to all of us. We will miss you as a colleague, as a friend, but this is not a final farewell. There's always a place for you and Marge to come back. Katie and I have gotten to know you and admired you and respected both of you. Your walks on the campus in the morning and sometimes even the late night calls are part of our life, which has been so much more enriched because of your presence here, and as I look around, everyone else here has been enriched. So it seemed appropriate that we would have a lasting legacy here on the third floor so that future students will remember the terrific service that you provided, the role model that you've instituted in leading students on this great campus. So it is my great honor to ask Tom and Marge if they would go over. And out of a sense of pride and dedication, if you would kindly pull down the plaque that dedicates this space to the Tom and Marge Aiken Student Leadership Suite. It is a permanent memorial to all that you have done, to all that you have given, and to all of us who have respected so much what you have done. Congratulations, Tom and Marge. Now, Tom, we'd like to ask you and Marge if you'd say a few words here.
I think we'll let Marge go first.
Thank you for this amazing honor. We are truly humbled by this very special recognition. I have to say, though, I do not feel deserving of such accolades. I'm so happy for Tom, who has worked passionately for the Bryant students and the Bryant University in general. But this building and this space has been the vision and hard work of so many people. I feel they deserve the credit. I do believe that Bryant is a unique community that I have had the honor to be blessed to be part of the last 15 and a half plus years. But it takes everyone making their contribution to make it the special place that it is. Because of all of you in the Bryant community, this chapter in our lives has absolutely been the best. You have provided us with awesome support, and we have felt the love. Our time here has been filled with unique, special memories that we will always treasure. Thank you doesn't seem enough, but it's truly heartfelt. And I want to again say how humbled and appreciative we are. Thank you, thank you. May God continue to richly bless Bryant and each one of you.
That was a great job, Marge. Terrific. You know, now some of my staff are starting to get nervous because this is the second time I've spoken today, and they have an idea that maybe I'll say something at the next thing. I don't know. But Marge said it so well. We really do feel humbled by this. We know that our accomplishments are not ours alone, but are the accomplishments of all the people that are involved in all the things that we're trying to do on behalf of students in the institution. But our work does fill a lot of our lives, and the work, fortunately, that we do at a place like this, as was brought back to me as we were cleaning out lots of stuff at the house, we saw some videos, the old VHS type, that talk about transforming lives. And this is a place where a lot of people have had their lives transformed. And it's great and exciting to be a part of that, and to be a part of creating spaces that can help facilitate the learning and development of our students. Marge and I have been partners throughout all the things that we've taken on, from her marrying in the early days a second lieutenant in the Army who didn't have a whole lot more to offer than his charm and good looks, you know. She's always said she didn't realize how poor we were until we got on the road for Texas, you know. And then I took her to one of those Army towns. It's all pawn shops and not much else. But she smiled through it all, even moving 4 times the first year. You know, I've always been tremendously impressed by the dedication and efforts of folks that work with us in student affairs. And I'm truly excited about leaving things in the hands of John Saddlemeyer, someone I worked with at Penn State many years ago when both of us were a lot younger. And he's gone on to accomplish many, many things and had significant responsibilities. And I know that John will carry on in the best way that he can, bringing his ideas into things. And I know he'll have a lot of creative and good ideas. You know, Ron and I talked about me retiring a long time ago. And as we get closer and closer to the final part of that, you know, it is a time for reflection. It is a time for introspection and thinking about things. I mean, I can't imagine somebody having a more satisfying 43-year career than I've had in student affairs. I've never regretted for one day having chosen that path over other things, in large part because of the people I've worked with, the places I've had a chance to do that work, and most importantly, watching students change. When I came here and left Penn State, lots of people wondered, why was I leaving? Had I gotten on the wrong side of the wrong person, or what was going on? Because I'd been there a long time and I was in a very good position, and it was none of those things. It was discovering, as I know John has, because earlier in his career he was the vice president and dean of students at an institution a little smaller than Bryant. There's something special about being at a place where you can walk for 4 years through an institution with students and literally watch them change, because the context, the culture of the place allows that to happen. And I think John will just be delighted as he really gets into things here when he, you know, the work you do at a Penn State or at a University of Connecticut is challenging work. But certainly my last 5 years at Penn State, I hardly ever saw a student, sat down with a student, had a chance to share and to challenge them. I've done that for 15 and a half years here, and I never thought that I'd probably have that opportunity. When I threw my hat in the ring for the Bryant job, I figured, well, you know, I'm going to try this. This is what I really want to do. I just supervised 19 campuses in a regional campus system, all small campuses. But I was a big campus guy. You know, I worked for General Motors, you know, and so fortunately, I was blessed by having Ron and others see me as somebody that was right for this place, and all of us working together. And I say this especially to my staff, who over the years, through thick and thin, through occasional passionate talks by me, for me occasionally losing kind of a little temper that once in a while shows its way, and a patient president who, whenever I had one of those fits, said, well, it's just this passion coming through. Because I'm not sure I'd have been that charitable sometimes. And I'm grateful for all those things. We've had a wonderful time here. I think we've made contributions. I see lots of great opportunities ahead. And I see a lot of possibilities in this building that are going to be exciting for all of you. And I'll be eager to see how that all works. And Marge and I have every intention to come back here a couple times a year and visit and stay in touch with Bryant and what's going on here. So, as Marge said, we are tremendously honored and delighted to be here, to have had a chance to make a contribution, to work with my colleagues in the cabinet, and to work with all of you, and most of all to the students who are mostly down that way, I guess, to say to you, thanks for teaching me a lot of things and helping this be such a wonderful opportunity for us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Tom, for your eloquence, and Marge, for your love and compassion, and for all that you've done. One of the dangers of having this as a bifurcated ceremony with us up here and the students and everyone else downstairs is that they have probably eaten all of the cupcakes which are downstairs. But we're going to now go downstairs, and there'll be a reception, and there'll be a few more speaking programs. I know Bob Sloss has put together a 90-minute speech, and we'd ask Bob that you start that outside, and when you get to the near end, you can come in. And so we thank you very much, Tom, Marge, Katie, and I look forward to you coming back, and you've got a place you can rest your head. We got extra room, and a little bit of luck, we can go play some golf. So let's go downstairs and continue the reception. Thank you.